Good evening. For those of you who follow me on social media, which right now I think is about 5 of you, you already knew that I'd auditioned before. In fact, 2 times, like Richard said. I tried out, and I failed. The first topic was forgiveness, and since my pastor had written a sermon about forgiving the unforgivable and the love and grace required, and told me it was about me, I figured I had that one in the bag. But after the fact, when I didn't get it, I realized I focused too much on the negative and not enough on the overcoming and redemption part. So it made sense to me why I didn't make it. A few months later, I saw the topic, creating happiness. And since I work as a chief happiness officer, I'm like, okay, that's why I didn't get the last one. This is my topic. So I drove down to Bloomington through the snow for the auditions that were down there, and I got a wow response. So I thought, yeah, I got it. And I didn't. And that one stung. So I thought, maybe this wasn't meant to be. Maybe this wasn't the stage that I was supposed to be on. So I decided to move forward, and put my whole self into my next venture. And I was doing something that I thought was going to be great, something that I thought was going to be very big, and something I'd be doing for the next few years. So last month, when that went sideways, it completely took me by surprise. And I had no idea what I was going to do next. I had this blank calendar in front of me, and I was trying to figure it out, and I kept seeing Facebook ads for Walk the Talk and the auditions that were coming up for kindness and generosity. And I thought, well, that's a nice topic, but I don't really have anything to say about it. Plus, I really don't want to try out again. And so I ignored it, but it kept coming up, and it kept coming up in my head. So I thought, what have I got to lose at this point? So I reached out to Steve thinking there would not be any spots left, so that'd be my out. So I'm like, okay, I reached out, I did it. Well, there was a spot left. So then I was like, oh, great. I didn't have any idea what I was going to do. But I took the spot anyway. And I thought about the fact that if I wanted to get a different result, I needed to do something I'd never done before. So I got creative. In fact, so creative, I stepped way outside my comfort zone. And I was extremely nervous going into the audition. No, I was actually completely scared. More scared than I've ever been in my life. But I did it anyway. And so here it is. In the past year, I've been here before. In fact, 2 different times I've been here on this floor. Well, not this same stage, but facing my fears and thinking, maybe this time, maybe this is my year. The first topic, forgiveness, spoke right to my core. I've forgiven the unforgivable. I knew this one for sure. I'd been through so much. I was able to find many, many lessons learned that came to my mind. And though sharing my story made my stomach queasy, I'd spoken so much before that should make it easy. Well, not easy exactly, but more comfortable than most. But in preparing my story, I was haunted by ghosts of the pain I had gone through that I thought I'd moved past. But revisiting the old wounds had left me aghast at the sadness I felt, so fresh and so new, that in my talk on forgiveness, inspiration fell through and gave way to the gripping depths of my pain, and I forgot to tell the part of how I stood up again and again and again, no matter what came. The next topic, creating happiness, well, this one I knew. After all, creating happiness, that's what I do. Work happy, career happiness. This was my jam. I knew how to find happiness with all that I am. I wrote programs and workshops and even a blog. In fact, so much so, Happy is the name of my dog. But when it came time to come back to the stage, I found myself staring at a blank, empty page. I remembered a speaker I'd recently seen. She was vibrant, electric, and used words that weren't clean. Her message was powerful. She loved being alive. She brought passion and energy and empowered us to thrive. So I thought, yes, I loved that. That's what I'll do. And then I started my speech by talking about poo. I tied it to having triplets and the diapers I changed and being in overwhelm, nearly deranged, and then digging deep through that chaos and changing my mood and looking at diapers with a new attitude, being grateful for babies I'd spent years yearning for, and their health and digestive tracts and good food and much more. But in that speech, I tried to be something I'm not. And, well, you guessed it, the response wasn't too hot. Once again, I was rejected and feeling quite low. Should I try again? My answer was no. So I tried to go on about living my life, but all around me, the world erupted with strife. People were fearful, angry, spiteful, and mean, vomiting vitriol all over my screen. There was so much division. I started to find words of hatred being spat from those who were usually kind. What's happening? Is our world falling apart? Yes, there's lots wrong, but is being civil a lost art? I turned off my newsfeed and looked for ways to spread kindness, but still all around me people seemed to suffer from blindness to the power of words, to the peace and love they were killing. The fierceness, division, destruction was chilling. Hurting people hurt people. This much I knew. But are days of respecting differences totally through? I began searching for stories among all of the muck. Was there still more good out there than all of this yuck? I did find a few, but then realized the truth. I was spending too much time on my screen, just like our youth. I was stuck in a bubble that was of my own making. I put down my phone and all of the faking and became aware of the path I was subconsciously taking. I started with changing my morning routine, breathing, stretching, and nourishing before even looking at my screen. I went from waking bleary-eyed with a slow morning scroll to invigorating my day with a brisk morning stroll. And I began to find that once I felt better, I was no longer swayed and depressed by the chatter. Instead, I found so many opportunities to serve. My world opened up to those who so much deserved to be applauded and praised for the work they were doing, for the kindness and love that was constantly brewing and building and growing and being spread all around. The difference a smile makes is sometimes profound. I learned the best way to eliminate hate is to find ways each day to make someone's day great. And on those days when you're still feeling sad, focus on little ways to make someone glad. Being generous with your time and attention requires no money or big new invention. Yet still, when I saw kindness was this month's topic, I didn't think I had anything new to say on it. Kindness is easy, I thought, not inspiring. But then the neurons in my head started firing. I thought how easy it was to give kindness to strangers. But when being kind to myself, there was considerable danger. I would never succeed without a game changer. Being outward focused, there's nothing to fear. But everything changed when I looked in the mirror. Because I realized when I saw my reflection for myself, for my own faults, I had no affection. I only saw all I did wrong and not right. The high from achievements rarely lasted one night, and soon I'd be right back looking at all of my failings. This failed, that too. Every part of me railing against this deep, dark cloud of defeat I was inhaling. I'd see all the others who were doing so much, who seemed to make gold out of everything they touched, to whom success came easy, or so it would seem. Even though I knew many were playing the game of pretending to be humble while seeking out fame. But then there were those whose lives I truly admired, who selflessly gave even more than required, those who were truly kind and generous givers, or those who had talent so big you would shiver. Those people are so obviously better than me. They are the ones people really want to see. So deserving, I'd think. Look at Mother Teresa, or brightening lives with a voice like Mandisa. To think I could do that, I couldn't possibly compare. I'd hide away my talents from the unforgiving glare of my self-doubt, self-hatred, getting lost in despair. Being kind and generous makes my heart sing. When focused on others, it means everything. But kindness and generosity is something, you see, that I never quite got around to giving to me. But that is the secret. That's what I most need. When I put myself out there, the only way to succeed is to believe in myself and make kindness my creed. Because when I give kindness and generosity to me, it is then, and only then, I can finally be free to stop caring what others think and truly just be. So here I am, putting myself out here again. No matter what happens, I know I can grin, knowing I did it, and that's already a win. And the next time you think of putting your gifts on a shelf, remember to be generously kind to yourself. For me, I'll keep going. I won't ever quit. No matter what others think, I won't give a shit. Whatever it takes, that's what I commit. I tried one more time, and guess what? I made it!